He asked me to sleep with him. He said, would I like my curtains fixed? And I laughed. And he said, that's a euphemism. Do you want me to come home with you? And I said, I've got a boyfriend.
I znów zafiksowanie na tym tekście o zasłonach. Wspomina o nim drugi raz w trakcie samego wywiadu. To sprawdzić. Wracając, będziemy dziś oglądać Pierce'a Morgana. Konkretnie wywiad u Pierce'a Morgana z Fioną Harvey. Fiona Harvey, jak sama deklaruje i jak po tym, jak dużo ludzi ją wystalkowało w sieci, jest osobą, na której oparto postać Marty z serialu Reniferek, czyli Baby Reindeer na Netflixie. I nie wiem, czy wszyscy oglądaliście. Jeżeli nie oglądaliście Reniferka, to nie jest tak, że nic nie zrozumiecie, ale dodaje ogromną dodatkową warstwę do tego wywiadu, jeżeli widzieliście serial. Bo okazuje się, że Reniferek jest w ogóle serialem opartym na faktach, opartym na prawdziwej historii pewnego komika, który napisał i zagrał główną rolę w tym serialu. I okazuje się, że genialnie napisał postać Marty, lub też została genialnie zagrana przez aktorkę, bo Fiona, na podstawie której Marta została napisana, okazuje się być tak zadziwiająco identyczna do postaci, która powstała na jej podstawie. Czy będą spoilery? Będą, ale moim zdaniem nie jakieś kluczowe. Przede wszystkim to nie jest serial, który mogłyby popsuć spoilery, moim zdaniem. Nie o to w nim chodzi raczej, żeby czekać na twisty. Bardzo polecam serial Reniferek, jest naprawdę dobrze napisany. A generalnie mam ogromną słabość do dobrych autobiografii. To, że Fiona mówi w ten sam sposób co Marta, to jeszcze okej, szkocki akcent. Ale no tak, myślę, że to jednak trochę więcej niż szkocki akcent. Mimika, jakby coś w niej. Dla tych, którzy nie oglądali serialu, zarysuję takie tło. Marta w tym serialu jest stalkerką głównego bohatera. Dlatego też pani Fiona przychodzi do Pierce'a Morgana bronić się przed zarzutami o stalking. Na początku tuż po może opublikowaniu serialu jego autor pisał na swoim Insta Stories chyba, żeby błagał ludzi, żeby nie próbowali śledzić, znajdować tych osób, na podstawie których jest ta historia, żeby nie próbowali spekulować. Oczywiście nic to nie dało, ludzie zrobili swoje i wyszukali Fionę praktycznie od razu. Dowiecie się z tego wywiadu, jak ją znaleźli i jak się dowiedziałam, to uznałam, no faktycznie nie było to trudne. Ten wywiad to też dla mnie szczególnie fascynujący przypadek dyskusji na temat autobiografii, historii opartych na faktach ogółem, również amerykańskiego prawa dotyczącego ochrony dóbr osobistych. Dla mnie szczególnie ciekawa jest ta rozmowa, ponieważ w przyszłym roku wydaję komiks, który jest moją autobiografią. Jest oparty na prawdziwych wydarzeniach z mojego życia oraz z życia osób, które znam. I miałam całkiem niedawno spotkanie z prawniczką mojego wydawcy. Jest to dość standardowa procedura, ale szczególnie w przypadku biografii, autobiografii, to jest bardzo konieczny etap, w którym siada się z prawnikiem lub prawniczką i omawia wszystkie potencjalne zagrożenia i wszystkie potencjalne pozwy. Więc poznałam kilka ciekawych niuansów dotyczących amerykańskiego prawa pod tym względem i tego, jak zabezpieczać się przed pozwami. Tym bardziej ciekawe wydaje mi się podejście nie tylko Richarda, czyli autora Reniferka, ale też Netflixa, który powinien mieć tego typu sprawy w jednym palcu. Być może były to świadome decyzje, które podjęli. Jestem bardzo ciekawa, w jaką to pójdzie stronę. Dlatego zanim jeszcze odpalimy, chciałam tylko zaznaczyć, że dla tych, którzy nie oglądali serialu, że chociaż jest to historia o przemocy, jaka spotkała głównego bohatera, w tym seksualnej, i chociaż jest to historia o stalkingu, w którym to Marta jest stalkerką, to sam autor i jednocześnie główny bohater podchodzi bardzo krytycznie też do samego siebie. Momentami mam wrażenie, że zbyt krytycznie. I odsłania się na wszystkie możliwe sposoby, wszystkie swoje słabości, wszystkie swoje wady charakteru. Wręcz powiedziałabym, bardzo próbuje się bronić przed zarzutami, że się sam prosił o coś. Mówiąc tak, prosiłem się na różne sposoby i sprowokowałem tę sytuację na różne sposoby. Co jest moim zdaniem dość godne podziwu w sytuacji, w której nie tylko robisz historię opartą na swoim życiu, ale też odgrywasz główną rolę, rozdrapujesz najbardziej bolesne rany ze swojego życia, swoje największe traumy, odgrywasz je, a na dodatek jeszcze wystawiasz się na krytykę za swoje momentami naprawdę rzeczy, których by ze mnie końmi nie wyciągnęli. Ale może to jest właśnie cena prawdziwej sztuki. Mi się podobało w każdym razie. Bardzo doceniam, że opowiedział tę historię. To chyba tyle z disclaimerów. Strasznie się rozgadałam, sorry.
Our beef curtains.
I did not move.
Everybody is talking about baby reindeer.
Now fans are trying to find the real people behind the story.
Because it doesn't depict real life events.
It's blown up so quickly and so fast all around the world that I didn't expect it.
First of all, why have you decided to go public? When did you know that you were the person being depicted? He says the whole thing started because he felt sorry for you. Have you ever been to prison? What do you feel about Richard Gadd? You think he's mentally unwell? Did you ever turn up at his house? Would you accept that someone who did that would be very obsessive about something? Here's the thing, I don't know the truth. You do. You look down the barrel of that camera. To people who still doubt you, what do you say to them?
To jest Fiona właśnie.
One of the first things that viewers of Baby Reindeer are told by Netflix
Głośniej filmik, oczywiście.
is that this is a true story. Not based on a true story or inspired by real events, but a true story. It's emphatic about that. The show's writer, comedian Richard Gadd, even plays the lead role himself. Many millions of people across the world have now seen it. It's one of the biggest...
Tak, napisy też włączam i pierwsza, najważniejsza rzecz. Tak jak mówi Pierce, przed pierwszym odcinkiem wyświetla się napis This is a true story.
Netflix shows of the year. And I've watched it all. It's a riveting, emotionally intense drama worthy of all the critical plaudits it's now receiving. Viewers are gripped by the apparently real-life struggle of a fledgling stand-up comedian who is mercilessly stalked by an older woman, Martha, in a 3-year onslaught of harassment. Martha bombards him with tens of thousands of lurid emails, leaving hundreds of voicemails, lurking outside his house, attacking his partner, even confronting his family and friends. Now, Richard Gadd said that he and Netflix had gone to such great lengths to disguise Martha's real identity that she wouldn't even recognise herself. But that wasn't true. Many people did recognise her very quickly. And the woman at the centre of the story was outed online within hours simply by cross-referencing her posts on social media with those that were used in the show. Other details...
No właśnie, i to mnie zastanawia, tak jak pisze Mikow3 na czacie, że przed horrorami też się taki napis wyświetla. Zastanawiam się, na ile w ogóle jest to czynnik w ewentualnym pozwie i czy w ogóle. Być może w połączeniu z tym, że są inne rzeczy, na podstawie których można zidentyfikować Fionę, plus to, że jest napisane, że to jest prawdziwa historia, być może to są jakieś dodatkowe okoliczności, które zmieniają coś tym wszystkim.
Details about her character bear a striking.
I tak, Piers Morgan, wszyscy wiemy, a może i nie wiemy, nie lubię typa, ale z jednej strony wydaje mi się, że ma dobre podejście w tym wywiadzie, z drugiej strony zastanawiam się, czy w ogóle to był dobry pomysł, żeby ją zapraszać gdziekolwiek. Wydaje mi się, że w momencie, w którym już ludzie dowiedzieli się, kim jest naprawdę, to i tak byłaby obecna w mediach, czy by tego chciała, czy nie. A biorąc pod uwagę, że chce się wytłumaczyć i się bronić, prawdopodobnie powinniśmy dać jej platformę, żeby miała taką szansę. Z drugiej strony, jak zobaczycie, oglądając, wydaje mi się, że to jest osoba, która po prostu potrzebuje pomocy. Jest
unavoidable similarity with the real woman now accused of being the crazed stalker Martha. The show raises uncomfortable questions about the line between fact and fiction, fantasy and reality. Another
plus i jeszcze jedna warstwa. Chrupek, czy ty możesz się zdecydować, gdzie ty chcesz być, typie? Jeszcze jedna warstwa jest taka, że na początku wyświetla się napis This is a true story, ale już wiemy, że wiele rzeczy nie wydarzyły się tak, jak w fabule serialu, co przyznają sami twórcy. Postać na przykład partnerki głównego bohatera jest zberdżowana, jest jakby takim połączeniem dwóch różnych partnerek, które miał gdzieś tam w ciągu swojego życia, co jest standardowym zabiegiem w sumie przy budowaniu historii na faktach. Też powiedziałabym jedną dużą rzecz, która się różni w rzeczywistości od serialu, ale może nie chcę wam aż tak spoilować tego, jak się serial kończy. I w związku z tym no to nie jest prawdziwa historia. Niezależnie od tego, co Fiona ma do powiedzenia na ten temat.
Innocent man in the television industry has been falsely accused of sexual assault based on one of the storylines in the drama. Well, Fiona Harvey is the woman outed as the real Martha of Baby Reindeer. She's chosen to confirm her identity because she wants to have a right of reply. And so, in her first television interview, she joins me now in the studio. Well, thank you for joining me, Fiona. First of all, why have you decided to go public?
The internet sleuths tracked me down and hounded me and gave me death threats, so it wasn't really a choice. I was forced into this situation.
What do you hope to achieve in this interview?
I came on your show because you're a veteran broadcaster. I think you'll give me a fair hearing. You were persecuted yourself not so long ago. So that's why I've chosen this show.
Have you watched the drama?
Not at all. I've heard about the court scene, about the jail sentences and all this sort of stuff.
But you really haven't watched any of it?
I haven't watched any of it.
You're not curious to?
No, I think I'd be sick. It's taken over enough of my life. I find it quite obscene. I find it horrifying, misogynistic. Some of the death threats have been really terrible online. People phoning me up. You know, it's been absolutely horrendous.
Ciekawa rzecz, Fiona twierdzi, że nie oglądała serialu, co moim zdaniem jest dość ważnym szczegółem, biorąc pod uwagę, że w późniejszych niektórych kwestiach dokładnie potwierdza to, co było w serialu jako coś, co miało miejsce, nie wiedząc o tym, że to potwierdza, jednocześnie dając nam kawałek wiedzy, której nie mieliśmy wcześniej, czyli że niektóre rzeczy, które się wydarzyły w serialu, wydarzyły się dosłownie tak, jak zostały opisane, a moglibyśmy je w innym przypadku interpretować jako interpretację, sorry.
I wouldn't give credence to something like that, and it's not really my kind of drama.
When did you know that you were the person being depicted in this?
5 years ago on BBC Breaking News, I saw Mr. Gard had written a play for the Edinburgh Festival and he was hiding...
Aha, teraz widzę na czacie, że podobno wrzucała na Facebooku, że ogląda serial, a twierdzi, że nie ogląda, więc jakby sprzeczne zeznania, to jest coś, co się przewija w jej wypowiedziach, ale z drugiej strony może, nie wiem, może odpaliła tylko na chwilę, żeby wrzucić na Facebooka, ale tak naprawdę nie oglądała całości, nie wiem. A możliwe, że oglądała, a mówi, że nie oglądała. Wszystko jest możliwe, mam wrażenie, na tym etapie.
He was holding up placards, MP's wife stalker, and all of this, and he called it baby reindeer. That's all I knew. And I thought, well, I've only met this guy 2 or 3
I Found Antique Website pisze: mega mnie irytuje, że Pierce w wywiadach nigdy nie łapie za słówka właśnie. W tym przypadku to dobrze. Moim zdaniem super w tym przypadku, że tego nie robi i daje jej mówić jak najwięcej i nie konfrontuje jej. Bo moim zdaniem w przypadku osób z tego typu zaburzeniami to by nie miało sensu. To by sprawiało, że ta rozmowa stałaby się wyłącznie nieczytelna. Plus trzeba być bardzo wrażliwym na nierównowagę sił, moim zdaniem, w takiej sytuacji.
3 times. I don't know him. And
Imagine Mazurek tutaj zamiast Pierce'a. O mój Boże. Oh.
left it at that. I should have possibly jumped it at that stage.
And when did you know that Netflix were doing something?
2 weeks ago, I had just moved flats, so it was 2 weeks ago past Saturday.
And how did you hear?
I saw on BBC Breaking News that he'd sold to Netflix, and both he and this character, Martha, this Jessica actress, seemed to be promoting mercilessly.
Did you think then it was you that they were depicting?
I thought it was me they were depicting 5 years ago because of this MP's wife stalker article that had been a number done on me by the Sunday Mail 25 years ago when I was going for Donald Du's parliamentary seat. So I knew, I had a vague idea then. The Daily Mail then approached me on the Wednesday.
Sorry.
A festival, and he was holding up placards, MP's wife stalker, and all of this, and he'd called it baby reindeer. That's all I knew. And I thought, well, I've only met this guy 2 or 3 times. I don't know him.
Ważny szczegół. Fiona na początku twierdzi, że widziała tylko 2 albo 3 razy Richarda.
And left it at that. I should have possibly jumped it at that stage.
And when did you know that Netflix were doing something?
2 weeks ago, I had just moved flats, so it was 2 weeks ago past Saturday.
And how did you hear?
I saw on BBC Breaking News that he'd sold to Netflix, and both he and this character, Martha, this Jessica actress, seemed to be promoting mercilessly.
Did you think then it was you that they were depicting?
I thought it was me they were depicting 5 years ago because of this MP's wife stalker article that had been a number done on me by the Sunday Mail 25 years ago when I was going for Donald Du's parliamentary seat. So I knew, I had a vague idea then. The Daily Mail then approached me on the Wednesday.
Background dla tych, którzy nie oglądali. Okazuje się w serialu i o tym opowiada teraz Fiona, że miała już wcześniej sprawy oskarżenia o stalking ze strony innych osób.
2 weeks ago, so sort of 2 weeks tomorrow, but 2 weeks ago, if you see what I mean, and told me that I was getting death threats online, that I'd been outed as Martha, there were TikTok videos. And
were you
all
online at all? Because you were before, but are you these days online?
I've come off Facebook as of yesterday.
Are you on X, what used to be Twitter?
No, I'm not.
Because you had an
Twitter.
account.
Yeah, that's right. Years and years ago. I'm scared to Google up BBC Breaking News. I'm certainly scared to Google up the Daily Mail in case I am on it in some bizarre circus.
That moment you realised it was you that they were depicting from what you were reading. The sleuths, as you say, had found your tweets. They compared some of the phraseology, they'd done the maths, and they worked out this was you that was being depicted. How did that make you feel?
Absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I couldn't believe he'd done that. And so long after first meeting, you know.
Od razu zaznaczę, nie naśmiewam się z akcentów. Jeśli czasem powtórzę coś, co mówi w jakiś określony sposób, to tylko z mojego uwielbienia dla tego akcentu. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
We're talking 10, 12 years ago. Really horrendous. I didn't know who to trust. I was told by the Daily Mail, don't trust those bleeps in Scotland.
Przerażające, jak jest identyczna do tego, jak zagrała ją ta aktorka. Nie tylko w tym akcencie, ale to, jak mruga oczami nawet. To, gdzie robi pauzy.
Whereas I found John Dingwall of the Daily Record completely wonderful, actually. He's acted with total courtesy. I couldn't believe this had happened.
I want to play a little clip. This is just some of the reaction to Baby Reindeer from members of the public.
She ends up becoming the craziest stalker I ever seen in my life.
And this is all a true story?
This is all a true story, yeah. And they've found the real woman online.
So I assume in the actual thing, they've obviously given her a different name. It's a different woman, but you know what I find? They always manage to find a similar looking woman, and the build tends to be the same.
I have a theory about this, though. I feel like he's done it on purpose because he knew that people would find her and he wants to make her life hell a bit.
Jezu, czemu muszę puszczać ten typ podcast? Zakładam, że to pewnie jakiś popularny podcast i dlatego, ale nie wyobrażam sobie słuchania czegoś gorszego niż dwóch takich typków pierdolących przez 2 godziny.
When you hear that, what do you think?
The final guy on there, I think.
Czy myślicie, że aktorka pod jakimś pretekstem ją poznała przed nakręceniem filmu, czy ten koleś, co stworzył serial, tak dobrze i opisał Fionę? Miał, z tego co twierdzi, miał mnóstwo nagrań głosówek Marty. Myślę, że to mogło pomóc.
It's correct. I think he always wanted this to come out, to persecute someone, to take attention away from him and this rape allegation. And I just generally think he's got extreme psychiatric problems.
I mean, there's no doubt he has problems. I mean, if you watch given that he's written it about himself, if you watch the whole thing as I did, all 5, 6 episodes, whatever it is, he has a lot of problems. He's quite open about that. The question, I guess, which we'll come to, is how much of the way he depicts you is true. And your position is that it's just not factual.
It's a work of fiction, it's a work of hyperbole, as I've always said. And there are 2 true facts in that. His name is Richard Gadd, and he worked as a jobbing barman on benefits in the Holy Arms, and we met 2 or 3 times. Those are the only.
Well, let's go
facts.
let's go through some of these things. So, you first met him. I mean, the show shows you.
Też bardzo nie lubię wytykać manieryzmów ludzi, którzy są na przykład po raz pierwszy w telewizji, bo wiem, jak to jest, kiedy idziesz, nagle sobie zdajesz sprawę z tego, że co chwilę mówisz jakieś słowo, ale bardzo mnie bawi, jak kończy zdanie robiąc bo kojarzy mi się to z Trishą Paytas w Frenemies. Nie wiem, czy kojarzycie.
Coming in to a London pub, you've just named the pub, and he's working behind the bar, Richard Gadd, and he offers you a cup of tea. Is that what happened?
No, that's not correct. He didn't offer me a cup of tea. Nobody gets anything free from the Holy Arms. I was in for a meal with a drink of lemonade, and I was very, very hungry. I'm diabetic, so very hungry. So that's.
And did you talk to him?
He interrupted a conversation. There was another barman there, and he said, "Oh, you're Scottish," and basically commandeered the conversation. I was talking to somebody. It's pretty rude to interrupt. So he seemed to be obsessed with me from that moment onwards.
I mean, just speaking to you, I never met you before, but you do look and sound very similar to the actress in the drama.
I haven't seen the actress. We're both Scottish. We've both got dark hair. She's considerably younger than me. I think she's about 18 years younger than me.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 58. I'm a year younger than you. And I think Jessica, the actress, is about 40, 38, 40.
Ej, wygląda dobrze na 58, mam wrażenie. Ale w sensie ma bardzo gładką cerę. Nawet porównując do Pierce'a.
It says in the show that you proceeded to return to the same pub time and again, but you never paid for a drink.
I don't drink alcohol. And
did you pay for anything that you had in the pub?
Lemonade or soft drinks.
Would he give you free drinks? Or?
No, absolutely not. This is sort of a depiction of me as a pauper who wouldn't stand around or stand a drink.
W serialu też nie piła alkoholu.
It's nonsense.
It says that you told Richard Gadd that he looked like a baby reindeer toy you once had as a child, hence the name of the show.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I appear to have written most of the show in my sleep. I dressed
Did you have a baby reindeer
I
toy?
had a toy reindeer.
So that's true.
And he'd shaved his head. That bit is true. And there were reindeers in the shops. It was Christmas time or something. It was a joke. So I have inadvertently penned the name of the show.
Right.
Okej, widzieli się 2-3 razy w tym barze. W ciągu tych 2-3 razy zdążyła wspomnieć mu o zabawce, którą miała w dzieciństwie. Która była dla niej szczególnie ważna. Gregon pyta, niech mi ktoś wyjaśni, czy ona go napadła seksualnie, z tego co rozumiem, bo jakoś każdy bagatelizuje ją i tę sprawę i ten serial, a mi się wydaje to dosyć pojebane. No i ona twierdzi, że nie. W serialu jest taka sytuacja. Tak. Czy to prawda? Być może będzie sprawa w sądzie o to.
That is true.
To jakoś jest ukazane to w serialu, nie byłoby żadnych świadków na to. Chociaż nie. Sytuacja, w której napadła na niego fizycznie w pewnym momencie, byli świadkowie na to, nie została ta sprawa zgłoszona na policję, więc być może da się to po latach jeszcze ustalić. Pytanie, czy będą chcieli. Ważne pytanie, czy ona była skazana za stalking, jak w serialu. No i dobra, tu wchodzimy na terytorium spoilerów. Z tego, co widzę już. Nie, podobno nie. Z tego, co czytałam, twórcy mówią, że nie było wyroku, nie było chyba w ogóle sprawy sądowej. W każdym razie nie była w więzieniu za stalking.
True, that's true fact.
Whilst bantering with you, Richard Gadd told you he'd like to hang your curtains. Is that true?
This, I think, was a holy arms joke about curtains and a lot of sexual innuendo.
He did say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it true that you caught Richard Gadd looking through your window after he followed you home one day?
False.
You never saw him at your house?
I didn't see him at my house. I think it would be impossible to look through a window.
Did anyone else ever see him there?
No.
So as far as you were concerned, he never turned up at your place?
Correct.
But the Netflix show has him doing that?
Yes, I believe so. I've been told that.
But that categorically didn't happen?
That categorically didn't happen.
In the course of your relationship with Richard Gadd, you sent him 41,000 emails, 350 voice messages, 744 tweets, 48 Facebook messages, and 106 letters.
That's simply not true. If somebody was sending somebody 41,000 emails or something, they'd be doing how many a day? Lots.
Well, they'd be obsessively contacting
yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What did you send him?
None of that's true. I don't think I sent him anything.
You never sent him anything?
No. I think there may have been a couple of emails exchanging, but that was it. Just jokey banter emails.
Netflix have said that these details are the real ones. That this is exactly
completely incorrect.
So you're denying sending anything to him?
There may have been a couple of emails.
Text messages?
No.
Facebook messages?
No.
Did you tweet him?
I may have done years and years ago.
You actually tweeted him numerous times.
No, it wasn't numerous. It was about 18 tweets there or 14
It's quite a lot to someone who's not that well known.
But we were all friends. You know, it was banter.
Right, but it establishes you were contacted. That's in public.
Yes, I mean, this
Did you write him letters?
Public, no. I think when I saw the rape interview, that's actually incorrect. What I said there, when I saw that in the Guardian, I said, "What a shame! It's not your fault." Something.
You
like
did
that.
write to him.
One later.
So, you would say you only sent him a handful of emails. Yeah. You never texted him.
No.
You tweeted him 18 times. You think? You never sent a Facebook message.
That's
and
right.
you wrote him one letter.
Yeah.
So.
Okej. zakładamy, że wszystko, co mówi, jest prawdą na chwilę. Napisanie 18 tweetów o kimś, kogo spotkało się 2 razy w barze.
Why have they got all these details here which are supported?
Who is they? Netflix.
Who has sent all these things?
Correct. So, I'm sorry?
Who has sent all this stuff to him?
I've no idea. I think he's probably made it up himself.
I mean, you could prove, I guess, quite easily it wasn't you.
Correct.
Because it'd all be on your computer.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Would you be happy for someone to look at that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What do you have? What technology do you use?
Right, what technology do I use? A very, very old smartphone just now because the other one packed up a week before moving. That's it.
Because they're all sent from an iPhone.
Yes, so...
But they believe it wasn't actually an iPhone ever being used.
Meaning what
Meaning
kind
that
of
someone
phone?
was hiding the fact that they were actually not using it. They were pretending it was from an iPhone.
Też jeśli nie oglądaliście, jest to jeden z głównych memów, który powstał z tego serialu, bo każda z tych dziesiątek tysięcy wiadomości mailowych, które mu wysyłała, w serialu były podpisane sent from an iPhone, ale wiecie, jak ten standardowy podpis, który wysyła iPhone sam, kiedy się z niego wysyła maile, z tym, że często były na przykład literówki w tym. Więc ewidentnie ona sama podpisywała, że wysłane z iPhone'a, chociaż wysyłała z czegoś innego.
I don't really understand that.
Well, people can mask where they're sending stuff from.
Przed chwilą mówiła, że nie jest na Twitterze, a teraz napisała 18, że napisała 18 tweetów. Wcześniej mówiła, że odeszła z Twittera przez to całe zamieszanie, że wcześniej była.
Okay, right, I'm not Technology Whiz Kid of the Year. I wasn't doing that either.
I mean, obviously, when you make such an emphatic denial of the central point of the story, you're basically accusing both him but also Netflix of lying about it.
I am.
And that's pretty defamatory.
It's not defamatory if it's true.
No, it's defamatory that they've been to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I misunderstood there. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I don't see how anyone could do 41,000 emails and all this kind of stuff, you know.
I don't know how much you know about technology, but are you aware that if it was you sending those emails, it would be very easy for the police, for example, to work out exactly where they come from? That the IP address would reveal that?
Yes, I understand that, and it stays on forever. But the point is, this was years...
Okej, jeśli chodzi o fakty, które się różnią na 100% z rzeczywistości i z serialu, to sam Richard potwierdza, że zakończenie jest inne, że nie chciał wysyłać kogoś, kto jest tak niestabilny psychicznie do więzienia. Więc, że sprawa została resolved. Nie wiemy w jaki sposób, być może była jakaś ugoda sądowa. Wiemy, że Fiona nie była faktycznie w więzieniu za stalking.
Years ago, we were congratulating him.
But it would all still be there.
Yes, I understand that. Yeah.
And if you sent 41,000 emails,
this is just a lot of rubbish. Yeah, so that should be stored there.
Well, they'd all be there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got them.
He's not got 41,000 emails. That's over a year.
According to you, there's only a handful.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, how long would that take someone to type up? 41?
How many do you think you sent him?
A handful.
Like
that.
What does that mean? How many?
Less than 10.
10 emails.
Not 41,000.
Right, there's a massive disparity between the two.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if it's not you that sent all this, then clearly Martha cannot be you.
Yes, Martha cannot be me because there are a number of allegations that have been put to me by journalists that are simply not true. There's a whole play. It's not just the emails. There's a sexual assault in the canal. There's...
But if the police looked at this and if you sue, for example, then this will go to a court of law. And then on discovery, people will look into all this. The phone company will be asked about evidence of all the text messages. The internet providers will provide all the backup for the emails. Facebook will be asked about the Facebook messages and so on. So all of this would come out in a court case.
In disclosure, yes.
And you're prepared to do that?
Yes. Because I didn't write him the emails.
Who do you think did?
I have no idea. I think he probably made them up himself. I've no idea. 41,000 emails.
Yeah. I mean, would
I don't know.
Would you accept that someone who did that?
Dobra mina to była przed chwilą. fakt, że jest aż tak podobna, jest dla mnie bardzo ciekawy. Jezu. Głównie przez to, o czym rozmawiałam z prawniczką z mojego wydawnictwa odnośnie mojej komiksowej autobiografii. Mianowicie w przypadkach, kiedy miałyśmy najlżejsze podejrzenie, że komuś może się nie spodobać to, jak został przedstawiony i że może chcieć bawić się w pozwy, pierwsza rzecz, którą robimy, to zmieniamy wygląd tak, żeby osoba nie była rozpoznawalna. I to nawet w komiksie, gdzie wszystko jest dość, wiecie, rysunkowe i uproszczone. Czyli, że jeżeli ktoś ma ciemne włosy, to robimy jasne. Jeżeli ktoś jest niski, to robimy wysokim. I tak dalej. I że każda taka zmiana minimalizuje ryzyko pozwu. Bo kluczowe jest, żeby nie dało się wskazać w sądzie i powiedzieć, da się mnie rozpoznać w tym. Ludzie będą wiedzieć, że to ja i ludzie będą myśleć, że naprawdę zrobiłam lub zrobiłem takie rzeczy i wtedy jest jakiś materiał do pozwu. Więc nie wierzę, że prawnicy Netflixa o tym nie wiedzą i że nie powiedzieli i nie wiem, z jakiego powodu nie ustalili z Richardem na wszelki wypadek zróbmy ją, nie wiem, rudą.
Would be very obsessive about someone.
Yes, I mean, that's a lot of emails. And why now? Why didn't you go to the police at the time? Or this sort of doesn't make sense.
I mean, the fact that Netflix have said this is based on reality, this is a true story, that Martha did, the real life Martha, the person they based this on, who Richard Gadd has written about, is the person that sent these. And he has the evidence to prove it. What you're saying is that proves you cannot be Martha.
Yes, and I would like to see Netflix's evidence for that, which would come out in disclosure as well.
And you're 100% sure it's not you?
Yeah, absolutely.
It goes on to say that you heckled Richard Gadd when he was appearing in his stand-up shows. Did you ever do that?
No.
Never?
No, it's not.
Did you ever attend his stand-up?
I think I went to one. It was a long, long time ago.
And you never shouted out or anything?
Why would I do that? No.
I don't know.
No, I mean,
Do
why would
you
anybody
ever
do
shout?
that?
Są nagrania z występów Richarda, na których jest Marta i słychać na pewno, jak się na nich śmieje. Nie wiem, czy słychać, jak coś wykrzykuje. Chyba nie.
Comedy shows? I don't know.
No, I don't generally go to comedy shows.
So you never heckled him?
No.
Did you ever attack Richard Gadd's girlfriend because you were jealous?
No, I don't think he had a girlfriend. I think he's homosexual. But no, I have never been to his house or attacked any girlfriend or anything like that.
There are lots of scenes where Martha is sitting outside his house all day for many days, sitting in a bus stop, sitting out there, walking around, and would occasionally shout at him. Did you ever do that?
No, I haven't seen the show, but I'm getting.
I have. So I'm telling you.
Yes, I got all the court allegations, the trial allegations.
I'm going to come to that.
Rinal pisze, śmianie się na stand-upie może jest dziwne, ale chyba nielegalne. Chodzi o to, że w serialu są ukazane sceny, w których ona przychodzi na jego występy i zaczyna się wydzierać na niego po prostu i krzyczeć do niego bardzo obsceniczne rzeczy i musi wyprowadzać ją ochrona. Poza tym przychodzi na występy, nawet zanim zaczyna na nich coś wykrzykiwać, przychodzi po prostu będąc już jego stalkerką i wiedząc o tym, że on sobie nie życzy, na przykład, że jest już ma zakaz wstępu do jego miejsca pracy, tak, więc idzie go spotykać gdzie indziej. Nie jest to nielegalne, dopóki nie masz zakazu zbliżania, ale może być uznane jako część stalkingu później, już w samej sprawie.
On that point, did you ever turn up at his house?
No, I don't know where he lived. No, absolutely not.
So whoever's doing...
Czy ona świadomie go stalkowała i teraz po prostu próbuje gaslightować ludzi, czy ona faktycznie myśli, że byli tylko znajomymi? Ciężko jest wejść w tok myślenia osoby zaburzonej prawdopodobnie w ten sposób. Moim zdaniem wiele na to wskazuje. Wydaje mi się, że większość stalkerów nie myśli w sposób jakiś jasny i racjonalny na tyle, żeby być świadoma, okej, to ja teraz stalkuję tę osobę, bo chcę jej zrobić przykrość.
All this is somebody completely different.
This is a fictional character, hyperbole, exaggeration. This is a figment
Well, it's based on,
of his imagination.
They say it's based on a real person.
Who's they? Netflix.
Well, Netflix and Richard Gadd.
Netflix are about as mad as Richard Gadd. If they're saying that, it's absolutely not correct.
Did you ever contact Richard Gadd's parents and threaten them?
No, that allegation was put to me by journalists. No.
Never happened?
No.
There's one key point in the drama that has Martha's character pleading guilty to intimidating Richard Gadd in court and sentenced to 9 months prison time. Let's watch.
You're charged with the stalking of Mr. Donald Dunn between the dates of the 14th of August 2015 and the 22nd of March 2017. Are you guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You were charged with the harassment of Gerald Dunn and Eleanor Dunn between the dates of the 6th of June 2016 and the 22nd of March 2017. Are you guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. My little reindeer.
Now, again, there is obviously a resemblance between...
Do you think so?
Well, a bit, but
That's hardly flattery.
Well, I don't mean to flatter you or not flatter you. I just think there is a resemblance, having met you, and you both speak Scottish people. Yeah. But the fundamental point of this is, did you take part in that? So did you go to jail? Did you have a trial?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Have you ever been to prison?
No.
Have you ever been charged with a criminal offence?
No.
Never?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
To jest wywiad, gdzie on pyta o coś, a ona mówi nie i tak cały czas pisze Iskak Sokso. Tak, widzę, co Pierce próbuje robić. Pierce chciałby mieć, mam wrażenie, fragmenty tego wywiadu, które będą potem bardzo ważną częścią ewentualnej sprawy. On chce wyciągnąć od niej bardzo jasne statementy, które będą bardzo proste do podważenia lub potwierdzenia potem.
So that scene is completely invented.
That's completely false, and I don't think the actress sounds like me. I mean, people compare me to Lorraine Kelly, but I look nothing like Lorraine Kelly. We all happen to have dark hair, and we're Scottish. I think the actress is from Glasgow, I think, but I'm not sure.
But
and
which part of Scotland are you from?
I'm from the Central Belt.
So a slightly different accent?
It's slightly different.
A Scot would know the difference?
A Scot would know the difference. A Glasgow accent's very different.
But that's a fundamental point here, because if they basically have a key point in their drama, which they say is a true story, which involves you admitting to intimidating Richard Gadd and getting a 9-month prison sentence, and that is completely untrue.
That's completely untrue. Very, very defamatory to me. Very career damaging. And I wanted to rebut that completely on this show. I'm not a stalker. I've not been to jail. I've not got injunctions, interdicts. This is just complete nonsense. But you'll know yourself, if you're charged with a criminal offence, it will go fine. Bigger fine, whatever. Very few people go to jail.
Well, you'd have a police record
nowadays.
Yeah. Have you ever changed your name?
My surname was double-barreled.
What was it?
Muir Harvey. So Muir Harvey.
M-U-I-R.
Yes.
Harvey.
When I got when the parents got divorced, I changed it to Harvey. I just dropped.
So your maiden name when you were born was?
Yeah, that's right.
Was
Muir. Yes.
Muir Harvey.
Yeah.
So that's quite an unusual name.
Yeah.
So if you'd ever received a criminal conviction for anything, it would be on police files.
Yes.
And what you're saying is you've never been even charged with it.
Więc pytanie, dlaczego dali to w serialu, skoro to serio nieprawda? W sensie z tym, że ona go stalkowała, czy jakieś elementy typu, że dostała wyrok? Bo są rzeczy w serialu, które się nie wydarzyły naprawdę i dlaczego je tam dali? No dla dramatycznego efektu. Tak naprawdę każda biografia, autobiografia, historia oparta na faktach, którą oglądacie, jest fabularyzowana w jakiś sposób, bo historie muszą mieć swoją strukturę, która będzie satysfakcjonująca. I są zabiegi, które są uznawane dość powszechnie za akceptowalne w biografiach, autobiografiach, typu właśnie scalanie kilku prawdziwych postaci w jedną, zmienianie rzeczy chronologicznie w czasie względem tego, jak naprawdę się wydarzyły. Dramatyzowanie dialogów oczywiście.
No.
Let alone the one that they
Yes,
enacted.
I mean, this is 9.5 months in jail is pretty serious.
Did Netflix ever contact you?
No, no one's contacted me.
Never.
Never.
Did Richard Gadd tell you what he was doing?
No, I had worked it out when I saw the festival Baby Reindeer advert on BBC.
The Edinburgh Festival,
News,
which
the
is the show he did.
I just
Jeżeli też nie wiecie, to wcześniej Baby Reindeer, Reniferek był wystawiany jako sztuka. Richard napisał spektakl w pierwszej kolejności, zanim sprzedał historię Netflixowi. I z tego, co czytałam, też ciekawy zabieg tam robił, bo nie było żadnej aktorki grającej Martę. Reprezentował ją jakby pusty stołek.
happened to see that. I was looking up the news for something else.
Because that's where he
I just happened to see that.
Well, that's where he started telling the story, and that got picked up.
I was shocked. And I think Martha then was a bar stool. I seem to recall reading that. It wasn't an actress or a person, it was a bar stool.
Let me just show a little clip. This is from Lorraine, actually, who you just compared yourself to. But let's take a look at this.
What other people do.
This is Richard Gadd on Lorraine.
I just thought it was the right time to sort of try and bring a nuanced conversation to something. I think the human condition is extremely complicated, and I felt like a lot of the art and TV in this day and age had maybe simplified it too much.
It's not a villain and victim storyline. I think you're left with a lot more than that. It's kind of two lost people.
W ogóle tak genialna jest taka aktorka, uwielbiam ją. To jej performance był niesamowity.
What's your response to that?
Okej. Mąż 6969 pisze, skoro ona twierdzi, że to nie o niej, to w jaki sposób miałoby to ją zniesławić? Ona twierdzi, że to jest o niej, ale zmyślone. I może mieć, ja nie jestem prawniczką, moim zdaniem może mieć jakieś podstawy do pozwu, ponieważ ludzie myślą, że to jest ona. Netflix i Richard dali ludziom powód, żeby myśleli, że to jest ona, a obraz jej, jaki przedstawiają, według niej nie jest prawdziwy. Czyli stworzyli ludziom obraz w głowie jej, który według niej nie jest prawdziwy i za mało zadbali o to, żeby ludzie nie myśleli w pierwszej kolejności, że to jest właśnie ta osoba.
Milking it for all it's worth for the money. She doesn't even sound Scottish in that interview. Her accent seems to be varying.
Well, she's not. She's English. She's an actress.
I was going to say it sounds more Lancashire to me. Yeah,
no, she's English. She's an actress. She's putting on the voice for you.
They're milking it for all they're worth. It was the right time to abuse someone all over social media and all over.
No i właśnie, tu powstaje pytanie znów o etyczność, bo ktoś pisze, że trochę doktora Phila teraz odwala Piers Morgan. O etyczność w ogóle robienia z nią wywiadu w tej sytuacji, kiedy no, przynajmniej moim zdaniem jest ewidentnie osobą z problemami zaburzoną. Z drugiej strony, jeżeli nie jest na tyle zaburzona, żeby zostać objęta przymusową opieką albo leczeniem, ani nie jest na tyle zaburzona, żeby zostać skazana albo ubezwłasnowolniona za to, czy w takim razie co zrobić? Ignorować ją, czy mimo wszystko może jednak uznać je sprawnie odpowiedzialną za siebie osobą. Powinna mieć prawo się wypowiedzieć i bronić publicznie, skoro jest publicznie o coś oskarżana. Albo szukać jakichś sposobów, żeby jej pomóc. Zakładam, że ludzie próbowali jej pomóc. Ale też co zrobić, jeżeli ktoś nie chce tej pomocy, odmawia tej pomocy, a jest na tyle funkcjonującą osobą, żeby nie być kwalifikowanym do jakiejś przymusowej opieki, nie? No to albo pozwalamy komuś funkcjonować w społeczeństwie, albo nie. Albo jest sprawa bardziej zniuansowana i może powinniśmy zastosować jakieś półśrodki. Bardzo ciężkie to jest, nie wiem.
Over, basically somebody who's not from Loveyland, not from Theatreland, just abused me all over the newspapers. If they're happy with themselves.
What do you feel about Richard Gadd?
I think he's psychotic, and I think that anyone going along, being in that play, and doing this to somebody, I find the behaviour outrageous.
He says the whole thing started because he felt sorry for you, and that's why he befriended you.
Your staff said that to me in the waiting room. This is a lot of nonsense. I've got lots of friends.
What did you talk to him about?
It was just a holy arms banter. It was...
like what? What kind of thing?
I got lots of friends. Zabrzmiało dość desperacko, trzeba przyznać. Nie brzmi... I got lots of friends nigdy nie brzmi jak coś, co mówi osoba, która ma dużo przyjaciół.
Going to do with your life or, you know, career stuff, you know, sort of... And I thought he was a stand-up show.
But is it possible he was under the impression that he felt sorry for you?
No, I never got that impression at all. I got the impression that he was all out for himself, wanted to sort of control that bar, very, very inarticulate, very full of himself. I should never have gone in that bar.
Do you wish you never had?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
How long did you know him for, Richard Gere?
2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months at maximum. He only worked there on certain days.
And did you always go on the days he worked there?
No, I've been in there on different days having food.
Have other people from the pub contacted you?
Nobody's contacted me.
No one at all?
About this at all, apart from the media. The mainstream media and stalkers on social media.
He says, Richard Gere, he didn't see you as a villain, but as somebody who is unwell and needs help.
Yeah, well, he maybe should look a bit closer to home, to himself, as someone who needs help.
What, you think he's mentally unwell?
Yes, I think he always was. Whether there was an alleged rape or whether that rape was real or conceived in his mind, I think that would make him more
I mean, that's a rape that he says happened. It was a television person. We don't know who it was. Somebody was...
To jest też bardzo ciekawe, że... I to sprawia, że wierzę, że nie oglądała serialu, bo znów nieświadomie zachowuje się to zupełnie jak swoja wersja z serialu. To znaczy Marta serialowa też powtarzała często, że to z Richardem jest coś nie tak, ponieważ ktoś go skrzywdził. Że to nie ja jestem niestabilna, to ty masz problemy. I dokładnie to samo wybrzmiewa teraz w wywiadzie.
Falsely linked with it, who turns out to have nothing to do with it. But it's a very graphic scene in the drama where he is brutally raped after a lot of drugs are taken. And he's kind of he appears to be in the drama very self-reflective about himself. That he's no angel, he's not perfect, he's made lots of mistakes, and he didn't treat you in his eyes as a villain, like he says, as somebody he felt that you were both slightly lost souls.
I didn't know the rape scene was in the play until this morning. Somebody's daughter had watched it and told me about it. So I was surprised once again. Well, not surprised, actually. I'm rarely surprised by anything he does nowadays. He seems to have written a couple of other shows about this alleged rape, then this one. And...
Też, jeśli ktoś nie nadąży, bo nie oglądał serialu, ten właśnie alleged... To nie był z jej strony, tylko ze strony innej postaci zupełnie. Ale pewien rodzaj napaści z jej strony też był w serialu. Ale nie aż tak poważny, jak to, co stało się Richardowi ze strony innej postaci.
We've had no apologies from Netflix or him or nothing. I mean, for someone who says he feels sorry for me, I've had no apology.
I tak, ta druga osoba też jest na faktach. O tym, co się przydarzyło mu Richardowi. Richard opowiada od dłuższego czasu dość otwarcie o przemocy, która go spotkała. I tak, tego człowieka też szukają równie intensywnie, jak szukali Marty, w sensie postaci, na której osoby, na której ta postać była bazowana, też szukają. I nawet właśnie, tak jak mówił przed chwilą Pierce, były oskarżenia wobec kogoś, że niby znaleźli gościa, który mu to zrobił. Okazało się, że kompletnie trafili na złą osobę i w związku z tym właśnie Richard musiał w social mediach wydawać oświadczenie, że przestańcie to robić, to nie jest ta osoba i robicie ludziom krzywdę, doszukując się, kto jest kim.
And I have, this Martha character seems to have smashed up a bar, sexually assaulted him in a canal, been to prison. There are a number of other allegations there.
And none of that is true.
That's not true.
He says that people shouldn't try to find out the identity of the real people in the drama. Do you give him credit for that?
No.
He actually tweeted this. People
I
love have worked with and admire, including Sean Foley, who was the man wrongly accused of being the rapist, are unfairly getting caught up in speculation. Please don't speculate on who any of the real-life people could be. That's not the point of our show. Lots of love, Richard.
Pierce, I'm sorry, I can't see the date of that tweet. I can't actually see any of it.
That was literally like a few days after it was released.
Right. So. I saw the headline. It was all over BBC Breaking News 2 weekends ago for 4 days. With Martha promoting herself, the character Martha, Jessica, promoting herself, and him saying, don't speculate. Wow, that's a bit rich now, isn't it? The fans do speculate.
Well, it was almost instantaneous. You were tracked down incredibly quickly.
The Wednesday, the Daily Mail got in touch with me, so that was all over BBC Breaking News Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday.
I mean, the reason that internet sleuths were able to find out it was you was they found the tweets that you sent him throughout 2014. 10th of May, for example, 2014. Yeah. Richard Gadd, did you get my recorded delivery letter sent to the theatre, sent to arrive bank holiday Monday? So you sent him a letter then?
Okej, pytacie, jak ludzie ją odkryli? To już wam mówię, bo to chyba zresztą zaraz padnie. Jest w serialu taki ważny dialog pomiędzy nimi, gdzie Richard mówi do niej, rzuca do niej żart o seksualnym kontekście. Sam się przyznaje do tego, że jakby zrobił taką aluzję o tym, że przyjdzie jej do domu powiesić zasłony. I to jest eufemizm na to, że przyjdzie uprawiać z nią seks. Czego ona się totalnie uczepiła i w swojej głowie potem jakby mieliłam 1000 razy i pisała do niego o tych zasłonach non-stop. To jest motyw, który przewija się przez cały serial, te zasłony. No i okazuje się, że sprawdzili, kto pisał tweety do Richarda i znaleźli laskę, która pisała mu o tych zasłonach właśnie. Kiedy wpadniesz powiesić do mnie zasłony? Więc nie było się trudno domyślić, kim jest ta osoba.
That was that, sorry, to hear you were raped, something like that.
12th of June, same year, your tweets cheer me up, your timeline is good. 23rd of September, my curtains need hung badly.
We were trying to encourage him because with this first show or something like that. It was a long time ago.
Yes, on the 18th of December, please go and see Richard Gadd's show. It's well written and erotic.
Yeah.
The filmed bum shots are the best. Fantastic ass.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Fantastic ass.
We were trying to encourage him.
Nothing negative, though, about it there.
No, because I didn't think he was a complete psychopath who was going to attack me in this way.
But the show did involve you.
This show here, not that show there.
That made no reference to...
This was a previous show.
It made no reference to you, that show.
Which show?
The one you're talking about.
Yes. So, you know, it's funny this is coming up now. My view is it's all about the money. The Martha Barstow Edinburgh Festival thing wasn't making any money. He'd failed as a comedian, he'd failed as an actor, and therefore, let's make some money, sell this to Netflix. I think anyone in their right mind, you had a group of guys on there in their 20s, they don't believe it.
Can I ask you, what was your upbringing like?
I was going to say standard Scottish, singing standard Scottish countryside.
Happy? I mean, happy upbringing?
Impoverished, but middle class upbringing, if you like.
Any sibling?
Impoverished but middle class. What?
I have a sister. My mother worked incredibly hard. My parents got divorced when I was 9, but she worked like a Trojan.
Are either parents still alive?
My mother is, yeah.
And how does she feel about this?
I've not talked to her about it. I'm hoping she'll have just seen the Scottish headlines and that's it. She's not an internet freak or anything like that.
But she has no idea what's happened to you then?
She will know bits, and she was very, very angry with Laura Walker for doing the original article when I went for parliamentary
You haven't talked to your mother about this?
No, and that may seem strange, but I don't want to worry her. I'll tell her I've been on this show when it airs. I don't want to worry her.
Let me ask you, the Sun
Warrior. I don't want to warrior. Kocham.
reported an interview with Laura Ray, who you've referenced, who accused you of inappropriate behaviour whilst you worked with her. Now, the background to this is that you came into contact with the late Glasgow MP Jimmy Ray, who died aged 78 in 2013, and his sister wife Laura, who was 62, when she was a former Labour Party member. Mrs Ray said that she gave Aberdeen University law graduate you did graduate from Aberdeen?
Yes.
With a law degree. A trainee role at the legal firm McPhail Lawrence Partnership in 1997. Is that true?
It was called L&L Lawrence. I think she forgets the name of her own firm. It was called L&L Lawrence.
But that's all true. She gave you a trainee job.
She lured me away from another firm. She headhunted me from another firm because she needed someone to do employment law. And I'm pretty good at employment law, so... She
said that she had to sack you days later because...
Ciekawa sprawa, to faktycznie prawda, że pracowała w prawie. I z tą jej pracą są związane poprzednie oskarżenia właśnie, o których teraz mówią.
You were completely incapable of behaving yourself.
I walked. Her staff were really, really rude to me. Most people, half the Labour Party, had been up there at one point or another and walked.
She then said that following you leaving, obviously very quickly, that you then harassed her. You were then known as Fiona Muir, obviously, as you said, Muir Harvey. Mrs Ray said she was so frightened she issued workers at her firm with personal alarms. You were then served an interim interdict to stop you from contacting the lawyer or her politician husband. Daily Record reported that.
She messed up, I know, and I've still to speak to David about that, the author of that Daily Record article. She didn't. She messed up because I went into the Court of Session, the High Court in Edinburgh, to get countrywide interdicts, an interdict and an injunction in Scotland and England because I was going to move to London anyway. She mucked up.
Sorry, you went into court to get them yourself?
Yes, but there was
who?
no need against Laura Walker and Jimmy Ray.
But she said one was served on you.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
An interim
we have checked this out.
And again, there would be a public record of
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. And
you're saying that it was never served?
What we think, she served the initial documents and then
she did?
No. She served the initial documents and then there was no hearing. It wasn't minuted for a hearing. I said I would defend, but she mucked that up too. She didn't fill up a second initial document. She then didn't minute for decree in absence. So there is no interim interdict in Scotland.
Why would two people who have no contact with each other at all, Laura Ray and Richard Gadd, why would they both portray you as a very unpleasant harasser?
I don't know why Richard Gadd has, but Laura Walker, it was certainly because I was going for parliamentary selection.
The two different, you get my point, two different people.
Yeah, but Richard Gadd has Googled that. Richard Gadd has used that as
well, that's in the drama.
Show.
Is when they find out that you had previously harassed this family.
I haven't harassed that family. I didn't harass that family. And also I worked for it in 1987, 88. The parliamentary selection wasn't until 2000. He Googled up the article because I knew he'd done that. I never went back to the Holy Arms. He was spreading it around Camden that I was a stalker.
You've never married?
No.
Have you had relationships with men? I mean, if you don't mind...
Wow, jej mimika jest tak ekspresyjna. Ten fragment z piciem wody teraz i intensywnym mruganiem mógłby być fragmentem serialu. Niesamowicie odegrane, a w sumie nie odegrane. Po prostu wow, ona taka jest.
Being pure.
I'm heterosexual.
Yeah, I mean, how many relationships have you had?
I told the staff that relationships were out of bounds. A lot more than Richard Gadd has, I would say.
Yeah.
To bardzo ważne, żeby zaznaczyć, że miałam więcej chłopaków, miałam więcej związków niż typ, który oskarża mnie o stalking. Z jakiegoś powodu to dla mnie bardzo ważny szczegół.
Quite a few.
Right.
Well, I don't know if he had a lot. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how...
And obviously now you're going... Here's my point. Now you're going public. Then the men that you've dated over the years, will see this.
Yeah.
They'll be aware of it. They'll hear you.
I don't think if your next question is going to be, am I stalking them? I think the answer is going to be no.
Well, no, I just wonder how do you think they would view you?
I think they are going to think what I think about Richard Gere, that he's completely off his head. And I'm not worried about the current one because he's a lawyer and he.
So you currently have a boyfriend?
Jej obecny chłopak jest prawnikiem, ale chodzi do innej szkoły jak coś.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer?
Yeah.
In London?
Doesn't matter where he is.
W innej szkole.
You know, I'd rather...
No, I understand, but how long have you been...
5 years.
You've been in a 5-year relationship?
Yeah, so I don't...
So what does he think
I don't want to drag him in. He thinks this is horrendous. All of my lawyer friends do, all of my professional friends do, other people do, people are being really sympathetic. People I don't know are saying things like, are you getting hounded in the street? You know, people are being really, really nice.
I mean, after...
Anyone who does know about this.
You know, here's the thing. I don't know the truth. You do. And you've been emphatic in the number of denials you're making here.
That's right.
But many of those things that I've put to you can be proven.
You're talking about emails and an email trail thing.
All that.
You know, all of that. You're obsessed with... sorry, I don't mean to be horrible.
I'm not obsessed with anything.
You've gone on at length for a good 10 minutes about the emails.
Well, only because the emails...
Because it's a vast number.
Well, there's a huge number and voice messages. The voice messages he's kept apparently, and there is
maybe taping me in the holy arms. I don't know if he's got any voicemail.
But if he has 350 voice messages and it's you,
it doesn't mean the drama is true.
But is it possible he's got 350 voice messages?
I doubt that very much. I just don't think so.
You doubt it?
Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, unless he's taping me.
I mean, if you've never really contacted him. If he
could have been taping me in the holy arms, though.
But if he's got 350...
I've not contacted
but if these are on his phone...
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether they're on a phone, tablet, whatever they're on. I've not contacted
But I'm curious, why would there even be a possibility of him having that number of voice messages from you?
Because he's crazy, he wants to make this up. I mean, I've not phoned the guy. I don't have his number.
Yeah, but you're not sure that he hasn't got those?
I think the only explanation for having a voicemail from me would be taping me in the holy arms. That's the only place we've
Or
ever
that you've
met.
left messages on his phone?
That's the other explanation, which just didn't happen.
But you can't be sure?
I can be sure because I didn't have his number.
Right, but you just said you weren't sure if these were your voice messages.
Yeah, what I mean is somebody could be taping me. You know, somebody could have taped me in the holy arms.
Right,
on a dictaphone or something like that.
Here's my point.
Wiecie, co mnie załamało? Jak widziałam ten fragment na TikToku i wszyscy pytali, co dyktafon? O czym ona mówi? What the hell is a dictaphone? I miałam takie fuck. I jestem stara.
These are easily provable things.
Yeah.
He's either got them or he hasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll be asking for disclosure of that. But
and the emails, obviously, there'll be an IP address, and if that leads to you.
Yeah. I mean, my point is, though, even if that were true, I didn't lunge at him across the bar. I didn't sexually assault him in a canal. I didn't go to jail.
I understand.
So,
but here's my point to you.
Yeah.
Here's my point to you, Fiona. And I'm not trying to catch you out. I'm not trying to trap you. I'm genuinely fascinated by this story. I watched the drama. I saw them declare it at the start as a true story. And I've seen the interviews since with all various people. And it's clearly a very complex situation, this. But unless I'm mishearing you, I think what you're saying is there is a possibility that you send a lot of emails and there's a lot of voice messages.
I didn't say
but that it doesn't mean that you did the more serious things.
Yeah, I am not saying at all that I sent loads of emails. You maybe misheard.
A teraz to już mam wrażenie, że Pierce wprost podpowiada jej strategię pozwu. W sensie, że nawet, bo on jest przekonany, jak pewnie my wszyscy, że te 40 000 maili i 350 wiadomości głosowych istnieje i da się je udowodnić, więc podpowiada jej, słuchaj, nawet jeżeli istnieją, załóżmy czysto hipotetycznie, to wciąż nie ma żadnych dowodów na to, że zrobiłaś bardziej poważne rzeczy, które są ujęte w serialu, więc nadal możesz ich pozwać. Tamtych ci raczej nie udowodnią.
Play back the interview. What I'm saying is a handful at most. If I did, congratulations about the show.
But if he does have 350 voice messages,
I know that he doesn't.
And it's your voice.
He doesn't.
and everyone can now hear your voice.
Unless he was taping me in the Holy Arms.
Or he just kept them on his phone.
I didn't phone him. You sound unconvinced, but
no, I'm not. Honestly,
I mean, what?
No. So is your point that are you challenging him to reveal this evidence?
No, I would challenge him to leave me alone.
Because you're calling him a liar, and you're calling Netflix accomplice.
I didn't use those words. I said the story, the play, the Netflix show is not true.
No, but if they say that you sent 41,000 emails,
well, they are completely
messages,
wrong.
All 744
They're
tweets.
Completely wrong.
So they are lying.
They are lying. Yes, okay, yeah, in effect, he is lying and they are lying. And in order for a dramatisation to be true, it's got to be, the only defences are veritas, I'm telling the truth, or the whole drama needs to be true. They have billed it as a true story, so has he, and it's not. It's blatantly not. Even if the email thing was true, the rest is not. So
why would you qualify that, Fiona?
Sorry, why would I what?
Why would you suddenly qualify even if it's true about the emails?
No właśnie teraz widzicie, próbuję ją łapać za słówka i moim zdaniem zupełnie bez sensu.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Right, but when you say even if the emails were true,
I didn't send him 41.
It doesn't mean the more serious stuff is.
Let me rephrase that.
That's really what you're saying, right?
On chyba próbuje zrobić tu taką strategię, jak mają detektywi w salach przesłuchań, kiedy mi się wydaje, że są genialnymi strategami, że próbuje jej podać właśnie wymówkę, linię obrony, żeby przyznała się do mniej poważnego czynu, żeby mogła się w swojej głowie wymigać od tego bardziej poważnego. A to już otwiera furtkę do tego, że na jakiś temat skłamała, tak?
I mean, I don't want to force you into saying anything that's not actually true, but it seems to me that it may be possible that you have communicated all this stuff with him, but that doesn't mean you did the more serious things.
That's true.
It doesn't mean you attacked his girlfriend. It doesn't mean you smashed up a bar. It doesn't mean you did any of those things or threatened anybody. It just, yes, you had a relationship with this guy and you did contact him a lot.
I knew this guy. I didn't contact him a lot. I've never said that in this interview at all.
No. But but interestingly, for me, as an interviewer, and I'm just trying to get to the truth. You understand?
No,
I honestly not trying to
see that. It's your show.
I'm not trying to trip you up. I'm just trying to get to the truth.
I see that.
He has put his version out there, and the world has watched it.
Absolutely.
Millions and millions of people around the world have had Richard Gadd's version.
I know.
And I'm simply saying to you that you have a chance here, Fiona, I think, and take this any way you want, but you have a chance here to concede that some of these things might be possible, but that doesn't mean the more serious things happen.
I mean, what I'm saying is...
Because the more serious stuff we know is serious, right? If you were...
if you were in the jail or something...
If you were a violent stalker, or if you'd had a previous situation where you got this interim incident, which we know was served on you...
No, it was not. Sorry to interrupt there. No, she has repeatedly maintained this over 25 years. I checked with the Sheriff Clark. Another lawyer checked with the Sheriff Clark. We think that the previous scenario happened. She does not have an interim interdict. I think she's quite wrong.
Okay.
If the Sheriff Clark can produce that and say she didn't muck up and minuted for decree, why was I not served an interim injunction?
If Richard Gadd is watching this, what's your message to him?
Leave me alone, please. Get a life, get a proper job. I am horrified at what you've done.
And you will categorically be taking legal action?
Absolutely, against both him and Netflix.
You said your boyfriend's a lawyer, so this can be done
He's not doing it, no. I'm not doing it. Somebody else is doing it.
Have you instructed lawyers?
We've instructed them in part, but we want to explore all the options out there. There are a number of people to sue. We can't all be in 10 courts all at once. So.
Who else are you planning to sue?
The Daily Mail. Anyone that's saying this is true and harassing me and that kind of thing. We have not had time to do everything.
If the investigation, if you sue and there's discovery, and it turns out that 41,000 emails did come from a device belonging to you, how would you feel about that?
I wouldn't be suing if I thought there were 41,000 emails out there.
We understand how easy it is to find them.
I understand completely.
And that if they did exist, and you're categoric that they didn't, it would obviously
It wouldn't
impact
blow the
on
whole case. It wouldn't blow the case against Netflix and it wouldn't blow the case against him.
No, you might well have...
making out it's a true story.
No.
If you see what I mean, I'm back to my original position.
Okej, jak coś znalazłam Facebooka Fiony, sobie przejrzymy potem.
I understand, and I understand that it's obviously put your life into a very difficult position.
It's very
and their central claim that they made all this effort not to lead to you being identified, I don't think stands water.
I don't think it stands water.
To me, it's pretty... I could have... Listen, I've been a journalist...
On zastosował, w sensie Richard, wszelkie możliwe środki, żeby utrudnić jej zidentyfikowanie. Nie jego wina, że internaci ją odnaleźli. Nie zastosował wszystkich możliwych środków, żeby utrudnić jej zidentyfikowanie. Przynajmniej wydaje mi się, że nie jak na standardy amerykańskiego prawa. Pytanie też, pod jakie by podlegali. Gdzie ona mogłaby ich pozwać? Też się nie znam na prawie. Ona nie jest Amerykanką.
40 years. I could have discovered it was you in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Once I'd watched
Yes,
that.
I agree. I discovered it was me when I saw the BBC breaking news baby reindeer show at the Edinburgh Festival when I was Googling up just the news that day or the weather or something, and this came up, and he was holding up a placard or a newspaper article, MP's wife stalker, all you need to do is Google that. Then I saw the name of the show and I thought, bloody hell, what's he up to? And I tried to get a friend to go see the show because she was based in Edinburgh, but she was on holiday. Nobody I know had seen that show either. So I was really shocked. I was very upset for 2-3 days, and then the general plan of action among my close friends was, look, just, let him get on with things. He's not going to be that damaging. You don't really know him. This will go away.
When did you last have any contact with him?
Famous last words. Years ago.
Do you remember when?
Years ago, no. I left the Holy Arms, didn't go back, and he was calling me a stalker and things, and there were various things happening in the Holy Arms. Other women were warning me about them and everything, yeah.
About him?
About him and others with bad conduct.
In relation to the 106 letters that he and Netflix say you sent, well, here's my point. You've admitted sending him one, and that presumably was a handwritten letter.
Nawet jeżeli mówi prawdę, wysłała mu jeden list, wciąż w jakiś sposób ma adres i wysyła list typowi, którego spotkała 2-3 razy w barze. Holy Arms się nazywa ten bar, tak.
Could it be, are you thinking I was maybe mistaken, that I maybe did?
No. I'm just saying, if we accept that the one that you admit to sending is in your own handwriting, he has another 105 letters in your handwriting.
It's nonsense.
Damian Wity pisze, to nie wygląd postaci jest kluczowy, tylko ślad, jaki prawdziwa Fiona pozostawiła w social mediach. Nie wiem, co jest kluczowe, wygląd na pewno się liczy, ślad też, ale wciąż. Jeżeli on użył fraz charakterystycznych dla niej, po których można ją zidentyfikować, to wciąż odpowiedzialność jest po jego stronie.
Are you prepared for him to show that one?
He's maybe forged things. I mean, people forge a lot of things nowadays.
You think he could successfully write 105 letters to himself?
Well, I certainly didn't.
No, but you admit to sending one. My point is, if it turns out the other 105 are exactly the same handwriting, wouldn't that point to maybe...
we'd obviously bring in handwriting experts. I didn't do it.
You only sent one letter?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't sent that guy 106 letters.
Do you still email people?
What do you mean?
Do you send emails?
Yeah.
Do you have the same email address you've always had?
I had 6 at one point.
Why?
Because I like to keep people on different phones and different emails.
It's different email accounts?
Maybe 4. I think it's 4 to 6, yeah. It's
four,
easier.
4 or
it's
6?
easier. So you have some for your utilities, some for close friends, whatever.
Okej, różne e-maile. Ma się kilka e-maili. Różne telefony. Ile konkretnie?
Yeah.
The 6 is a lot.
Is it?
I don't know anybody with 6 email addresses.
You don't know many people then. I know people with 4 or 6 emails address.
Or was it 4 or 6?
I can't remember. Probably 6.
How many do you use today?
I had 4 phones. I've got...
Okej, ma 4 telefony. Na różne kategorie ludzi najwyraźniej?
1 today, but I only email select friends.
And you have 4 phones?
Yeah, two broke. They were very, very old.
A, okej, gdzieś tam stare w szufladach, no to tak.
One was brand new and broke, and it's still to be returned to the shop. I like keeping people on separate phones as well. And maybe that makes me a maniac or a stalker or something.
Znów ta scena była jak napisana, I guess. That makes me a maniac.
But if you've got somebody on about your electricity bill or somebody on about some work or something, it's nice to keep it separate, you know. So I didn't do that in Scotland. You didn't have to, but the volume of calls
Do you
down
think,
here is...
Fiona, do you think if somebody did send someone 41,000 emails, 350
I think that's
voice messages,
excessive, obviously, yeah.
would that mean someone's stalking someone?
Well, yes and no. I mean, it could be it could be your wife. It could be you're maybe sending emails every day about the kids or something like that. I don't know. 41,000's a lot. That's how many a day? My maths isn't working this time of night. But it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. That doesn't necessarily mean they're stalking somebody. They could be great friends. You know, they could have been friends for 50 years or something.
Was he ever your friend, Richard Gadd?
No. Staff asked me that as well. No, I don't think so.
But you had a lot of banter with him.
Yeah, but banter's one thing. Scottish banter down here is quite kind of welcome. You know, it's not really fun city, is it? It's not jokey city.
Were you ever in love with him?
It's not jokey city.
Yes.
Od dzisiaj wchodzi do mojego słownika. It's not jokey city. Będę tak mówić na streamach. A gdzie jest dźwięk? Co się stało? Wyłączył się z jakiegoś powodu?
No.
It's not a question of... By his own admission, he led you on at times. And he clearly
I gave him the brush off. He asked me to sleep with him.
The brush off. I gave him a brush off. He asked me to sleep with him.
With a big green spot in his face one day. I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
He asked you to do what?
I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
He asked me to sleep with him. He said, would I like my curtains fixed? And I laughed. And he said, that's a euphemism. Do you want me to come home with you? And I said, I've got a boyfriend.
I znów zafiksowanie na tym tekście o zasłonach. Wspomina o nim drugi raz w trakcie samego wywiadu.
I gave him the brush off big time, I think. You know, subtly so, but the bottom line is, I think this is behind him. No, I don't fancy him. I don't fancy little boys without jobs. That sounds awful. That sounds really, really callous, but, you know.
People will watch this who've watched...
I don't fancy little boys without jobs. Brzmi troszkę petty, prawda? Brzmi jakby to jednak on cię odrzucił, Fiona, a nie ty jego.
The Netflix series, and like me, they will be trying to work out where the truth lies. It seems to me that either you're innocent in the way that you've claimed to be, and you've been horribly defamed here. I think at the very least, the Netflix duty of care and Richard Gadd's duty of care has been a spectacular failure.
I agree.
Right, regardless of anything else, regardless of your culpability of anything, the duty of care has failed because people identified you incredibly quickly. So they've made this what they say is a true story and everyone's worked out its...
Dokładnie. Sam fakt, że ludzie znaleźli ją tak szybko, potwierdza, że Netflix i Richard nie dołożyli starań, żeby była nieidentyfikowalna. To jest niezaprzeczalny fakt. Była identyfikowalna, bo ludzie ją zidentyfikowali.
You and the picture they paint is of a completely crazed stalker ruining a man's life, albeit he accepts that some of his behaviour may have led the person on.
Can I ask a question? Do you happen to know how much he's made out of this Netflix thing?
I would imagine several £1 million.
Yes, I would say 3 to 4 million. A lawyer I know well thought he was a wee nobody and he suggested 750 to 100,000. I said, no, I think you're looking more about 3 or 4 million. And I think the more he publicises, it goes up. You know, according to how much it's streamed. I don't know. I don't know the contract they signed. I think he's done bloody well out of defaming me.
Do you resent that?
I don't resent any Scot getting on. This is not what this is about.
But he's effectively making money out of what he says.
He's making money out of
what
my
he says
misery,
is you stalking him.
Yeah, he's making money out of untrue facts. He's been the ultimate misogynist. The actress was also not appealing for calm. He was appealing for calm. I think he did that to sort of stir things up more. I think they knew exactly what they were doing. And I think your staff were talking about Martha, the sequel or something like this. It's just completely
That's what
crazy.
People are hinting at.
It's completely crazy. Well, your staff put that to me and put to me, should I write a book about this? Well, I've got other things to do, but it's a possibility.
You got a law degree.
Yeah.
Law degree, so you're obviously very bright. How did you do at school?
I've got a photographic memory. I was top of the school, apart from the science.
Which school was that?
Balfour High. I went to the science. Person got the most...
Pierce robi to samo, co moja terapeutka, to znaczy niezręczną ciszę specjalnie po to, żeby sprawdzić, czym ją wypełnię i jak to o mnie świadczy.
Smarts because you can get 99%.
How many O and A levels did you end up with?
I got 6 hires, 2 SYSs, and they were all most were A-band ones, which was when the A-band one was top of the thing.
And with your law degree, what grade did you get?
Not bad. I mean, all right.
What was it?
I just did an ordinary degree and then a diploma in legal practice.
Well, what grades did you get
degree. All right grades. But I went out
what were they?
partying. I didn't do an honours degree, so just bog standard grades.
What degree did you did a law degree or?
I did a law degree with 13 subjects. 13 law subjects, so it wasn't the CPE or anything, which I also have from down here, but it was 13 law subjects.
This is from Aberdeen University?
Yeah.
So what degree did you end up with?
A law degree, and then I did a politics degree after that.
And what grade did you...
Tak, faktycznie. Ta linia pytań jest trochę jak z podręcznika Mazurka wyjęta. Z podręcznika robienia wywiadów Roberta Mazurka.
Women's studies. I did substantially better in that because I did more work. I think in our day, when you went to university, you did.
There's a reason you say you got a photographic memory, but what grades did you get?
All right grades. I mean, not top of the year or anything.
No,
but all right
you get
grades.
when you do a degree, you get a.
Yeah. Oh, you're asking me what marks I got for 13 subjects. I can't remember.
Well, no, you end up with it.
I can't remember. Uwielbiam sposób, w jaki mówi.
Get a first class degree?
Oh no, well I said I didn't do an honours degree. I wanted to go out and practice, so it was an ordinary degree I did.
Right, but you can't remember how you did?
I did all right. I didn't do top of the year.
But the other graduates at the same time, they'd all remember you.
Some of them remember me. One of them did incredibly well. He's a High Court judge. Some people didn't do well. I think the general idea in the 80s was we didn't really do much work. That sounds absolutely awful. But, that was kind of the 80s.
If it came to it, would you take a lie detector test?
Yeah. Possibly, yeah. I would need to consult other lawyers about that.
If we set one up, you would do it?
A lie detector test for what?
The police, as you know, the police use them. They're just an indication.
They use them for mass murder and things like that.
Well, no, they use them in many cases just to determine whether they think someone's telling the truth.
They don't use them that much. I know you've done the programmes of women behind bars and things. I confess, I think I've just seen one, but it's not used that much.
Well, look, I'll be honest with you.
That's other things.
Since you've mentioned it, I've done a lot of crime interviews with people who've committed way worse offences than what you've been accused of.
Yeah, I haven't. I know you have.
Way more mass murderers, serial killers, and so on. And they're all, I've got to say, almost all of them are very good liars.
Ona nie jest w ogóle dobrą kłamczynią. Kłamczuchą. To chyba trochę inne słowo.
People to be asking this, watching you, thinking either she's genuinely innocent here or she's a terrible liar who is capable of all of these things.
I don't lie, and
I don't lie. Case closed.
Tell white lies if I absolutely have to, like when my 94-year-old ex-neighbour was dying.
Dobrą kłamką. Kłamka fantastyczne słowo.
We all knew she was dying, and I'd phoned her in the hospital the night before, and I lied and said, you know, have a good sleep, everything's going to be fine, and that, you know. So I'll tell a white lie like that when somebody clearly needed some rest. And
how many times did you meet Richard Gere?
Don't know.
What would you guess?
5, 6, maybe 5, 6 times.
Czemu nie po prostu kłamcą? Bo próbujemy wymyślić feminatyw od kłamcy. Because it's fun. Że fajnie, że polski język działa w taki sposób.
That's it?
Yeah.
In your life?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you think it's come to this, if that's all true?
I think he wanted to make money. I think he picked on somebody. There was a backstory there with that stalker article out there, right? So stalking's in vogue, going to prison's in vogue.
No właśnie, kłamczucha nie jest feminatywem od kłamcy, ponieważ istnieje kłamczuch. Kłamczucha jest feminatywem od kłamczucha.
What do writers say, or English lecturers or something, write about what you know.
And to people who are watching, look down the barrel of that camera. To people who are watching this.
O nie, Jezu powiedział jej, żeby spojrzała w kamerę i po prostu spojrzała w najbardziej przerażający sposób, jaki tylko mogła.
And who still doubt you, what do you say to them?
I think you should watch this. I think you should look at the number of articles that Richard Gadd and Jessica, the actress, have done, and how Netflix and he have promoted this. I think you should look at him saying, I am some sort of mental case, and judge for yourselves. Because I can't change your mind on this. I can just rebut what has been said. You need to make up your own minds. But my mind is made up. He's a liar. And my friends say likewise.
Fiona Harvey, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Kłamczyni istnieje jako słowo? Być może. Być może jest to też nudna odpowiedź. Być może powinniście być bardziej kreatywni, tak jak Hong 22222. Ta kłamca, ten kłamiec. Właśnie, dlaczego kłamca jest rodzajem angielskiego? To jest ta kłamca i ten kłamiec. Kłamiec brzmi super. Brzmi jak... Kłamiec brzmi jak gatunek zwierzęcia. Myślę, że byłby gryzoniem. Kłamiec, ale jest takim dużym gryzoniem. Tak już o krok od pełnoprawnego ssaka. Dokładnie. Albo jaszczur, może być jaszczur. Kłamiec może być też jaszczurem. Kłamcza. Good one. Ale kłamcza z kolei brzmi jak miejscowość. Myślę, że mogłabym pochodzić z Kłamczy. Chciałabym zaprezentować wam teraz Facebooka Fiony, którego znalazłam w międzyczasie. Obserwuję ją z jakiegoś powodu nagle 23 787 osób. I konto jest dość aktywne od wywiadu u Pierce'a. Myślę, że możemy się dużo dowiedzieć o jej aktualnym stanie mentalnym z tych wpisów. Kłamiec mógłby być też słodkowodną rybą, która występuje tylko i wyłącznie w dopływach Sanu. Jak to jest napisać coś tak prawdziwego? Dla mnie kłamcza to góra albo jaskinia. O, jest. To bardzo się zgadza. 7 godzin temu Fiona pisze: Have a nice evening. And I must say my hair looked terrific. The best part of my experience. Curiosity of the fabulous hairdresser. To prawda, wyglądałaś bardzo ładnie, Fiona. Okej. Tomek na Messengerze właśnie wysunął propozycję kłamczatka. Zbyt blisko Kamczatki. To już jest zbyt oczywista inspiracja. Ale kłamczatka? Kłamczatka mogłaby być drobną jaszczurką żyjącą na Kamczatce. Kim będzie męska Zouza? Zouzeł? Zouz? Kurczę, Zouza jest zbyt żeńska. Nie wiem, czy powinna być męska wersja Zouzy. Jakby, guys, let us have this one, okay? Kłamcza to może być też duży wojskowy wóz. Tak, może. Wow. Ile prawdy dziś na czacie. Okej. Dalej. Czytamy wpis Fiony. That life of guilt and glam is amazing. I felt like a princess for a wee second. Kurczę, powinnam to czytać bardziej jej akcentem, ale ja go tak zmasakruję. Ledwo umiem mówić po angielsku, mam mówić jeszcze dobra. And I must said my hair looked terrific. The best part of my experience. Curiosity of a fabulous hairdresser. That life of guts and glam is amazing. I felt like a princess for a wee second. I felt like a princess for a wee second. Dobra, nie, bo nic nie zrozumiecie z tego, co czytam. Dobra. Thank you, and I hope you all enjoyed the interview. I think Pierce did. He put me in the same sentence as Romaldo. Pinch me. Good day, everyone. Mówisz, jakbyś się dusiła. Przepraszam. Nie umiem w akcenty. Bardzo się starałam. To bardziej akcent z Derry Girls. Nie umiem, wiem. Przepraszam w ogóle, że próbowałam. 7 godzin temu Fiona wciąż pisze o Pierce'ie i podejrzewam, że to nie jest jej jedyny wpis. Twierdzi, że Pierce'owi chyba spodobał się wywiad i uszczypnijcie mnie. Wczoraj. God and Netflix lied about me going to prison. All convictions are in the public domain. I'm sure all these wee journalists, including Pierce, would have found these by now. God is a liar. God sam przyznawał, że że w prawdziwym życiu Marta nie poszła do więzienia. Kolejny wpis wczoraj. If I have mental issues like the world has painted me, why are you so-called sane people buying into the media, Netflix exploiting vulnerable people who have no media training, never been in front of a studio camera in my life, why are so many people profiting of me? To jest prawda. Fiona nie ma żadnego doświadczenia medialnego. Można wypaść bardzo, bardzo dziwnie i na wszelkie sposoby, kiedy się nagle występuje w dużej stacji telewizyjnej. Zordon to męska wersja Zouzy? What? W ogóle nieprawda. Dwa dni temu Still Smiling, Fuck You Richard God. Znów 2 dni temu Think Indeed to Clean Mirror, Who Watched My Interview with Pierce. Co ciekawe, typ literówek i błędów, które popełnia, jest bardzo podobny do tych, które prezentowali w serialu, jak przedstawiali jej maile. Kurde, to pisała w tak podobny sposób tam. 2 dni temu A year younger than you, Pierce, and I don't drink alcohol. Alcohol. Wow. Co to znaczy a year younger than you, Pierce, and I don't drink alcohol? Wow. I am very honest person. 3 dni temu Unlike Media and Richard God. Znów 3 dni temu My interview are on YouTube now. Enjoy. 3 dni temu Pierce is bully. Is he not a great interviewer? Interrupts. And his age doing at his age, doing everything he can to stay relevant must be embarrassing. There are his golden years, retirement, look back on life and relax. Instead, he's triggering people, he's not a kind man. To ciekawe, 3 dni później pisze już I think Pierce liked the interview. He put me in the same sentence as Romaldo, pinch me. O, wow, te literówki. Pierce i w ogóle też struktura tych zdań. Pierce is bully, is he not a great interviewer, interrupts. Znów 3 dni temu. I let the interview speak for itself. I jak to poszło? Niezbyt pozwoliłaś na to. Pierce is a bully, we all know that. He triggers emotions, but this interview will get more views. By far most of his other interviews with all misogynistic men he often defends. Andrew Tate, Donald Trump. 4 dni temu. Not having a good day. When I get triggered, I write and write and write. To prawda. God brought all this trauma back. To prawda. Prawdopodobnie to wszystko striggerowało jakiś kolejny epizod u niej. Nervous about the TV show. Don't want them to destroy me. Maybe I don't have the courage. Ojej, teraz... Fuck, teraz... Strasznie mi jej szkoda. I tu znów są bardzo podobne emocje do tych, które wywołuje postać w serialu. Że potrafi wzbudzić bardzo silne współczucie u ludzi. I nic dziwnego, to jest ewidentnie osoba, która jest w złym miejscu. Ale założę się, że musi mieć już w tym momencie jakieś oferty pomocy.